Students, so your topic for today is right against exploitation. So right against exploitation is enshrined in the Indian Constitution and it guarantees the dignity of the individual. It prohibits the misuse or exploitation of one person by another person or state or corporation too. So Article 23 of the Indian Constitution, that is prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. So this is that is coming under the right against exploitation. So the traffic in human beings and beggar and other similar forms of forced labor are prohibited, and any contravention of this provision shall be offence that is punishable according to with law. So this Article 23 is giving the right against exploitation. So it is covering if there is any kind of exploitation happening. So it is prohibiting that kind of exploitation, and thus it is giving it is giving any it is giving a punishment to contravention of this provision. Then nothing in this article will prevent the state from imposing compulsory service for public purpose, and in imposing such service, the state shall not make any discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, or class, or any of them. Article 23 protects an individual not only against the state but it is also protecting them against private citizens. So, this article protects a person from any kind of immoral trafficking and forced labor. Trafficking human beings means selling and buying men and women like goods, and it includes immoral traffic in human beings for immoral purposes like prostitution or making them beggars. So, Article 35, the Parliament is authorized to make law for punishing the acts which prohibit under this article, and this article has imposed a positive duty on the state to make laws and to take steps or initiatives to abolish the evils, negative effects of traffic in human beings. So, beggar and other types of forced labor are prohibited under this article, and no person is allowed to make the other person to do or not to do something or compel him or her to do any act that has an immoral value or that is any kind of exploitation. Slavery is not included in this article expressly, but it is included in the expression traffic in human beings. This was said in the Tobar Kolala versus Union of India. Now, labor taken from the prisoner in prison and not paying him or her proper amount remuneration of his or her work is violative of Article 23. This article prohibits any kind of forced labor in every form because it is violative to human dignity and contrary to the basic human values. In fact, practicing of forced labor is prohibited at an international level too in every type of international instrument dealing with human rights. So, forced labor is violative and prohibited under this article, whether it is paid or not, it doesn't make any difference. And making a person to do work or to provide his or her service against his or her will is violative of this article. Exception to this is that it is a general rule a state can compel a person to provide his or her service or labor for public purpose, but in doing so, the state cannot discriminate on the ground of religion, race, caste, or class, or any of them. Now, Article 24, that is prohibition of employment of children in factories. So, no child below the age of 14 years can be employed to work in any factory or mine or engaged in any other kind of hazardous employment. So, MC Mehta versus State of Tamil Nadu, in this, the Supreme Court held that the children who are below the age of 14 years cannot be employed in any hazardous industry, mines, or other works. And this article is certainly and exclusively in the interest of the public health and for the safety and life of children. Children are the future pillars of our nation. And this is why Article 39 of the Constitution has imposed upon the state an obligation and a duty to ensure that the health and the strength of workers, men, women, and tender age of children are not abused or exploited. And the industries which are likely to stop or hamper the development of physically or mentally of a child is called a hazardous industry. So children are aspects of the nation and they must be protected from every such kind of exploitation, and they must be given education so that they may live a prosperous life in future and also contribute something in nation building. So an educated person can contribute more productive results than an uneducated one. To give concrete shape to this, there is an article inserted in the Constitution by 86th Amendment Act 2002. So Article 21A, Right to Education, is what it is inserted, which states that it is free and compulsory education to all children of the age between 6 to 14 years of age in such a manner as the state may by law determine. Now, Article 23 and 34 both are dealing with the right against exploitation, and it tells that this fundamental right that is available to us, our right to be protected from every kind of exploitation, abuse, forced labor, etc. And that Indian laws prohibit slavery and any act which will harm the dignity and the freedom of a person. Yet there are people who still view themselves as superior to others. As a result, many people are forced to do work against their will at cheap rates, and millions of women and children become victims of human trafficking. In 2016, there were 18.3 million people in modern slavery in India, according to Global Slavery Index. In 2018, Global Slavery and Survey report stated that there has been a further addition of forced sexual exploitation and child labor in the country. So the right against exploitation that is enshrined in Article 23 and 24 of Indian Constitution, it guarantees the human dignity and it protects the people from any such exploitation, thus upholding the principle of human dignity and liberty upon which the Indian Constitution is based. Thank you so much.